Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lakwe Shweton. Have you ever been on a date, had a great time, and then looked forward to the second date which never happened? You tried waiting for him to get in touch. Then you tried telling him how much fun you had. But then when that didn't work, you went all out and asked him out. But the second date still did not happen. This video is going to help with all of that. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to get him to come back for that second date. Today, I have 3 tips for you on how to get him to come back for a second date. The first tip is to show interest in him and to be enthusiastic. Look, all of us human beings are egotistical. We like it when people are interested in us and when they ask us questions about ourselves. So if you ask him questions about himself, open-ended questions, he's bound to think that you are interested. And even if he's shy or humble or whatever and he doesn't want to talk about himself, he's probably going to want to talk about his work. So ask him questions about that. The first date is not the place to be asking questions about politics or religion. We want to keep things light and fun here, so avoid those topics. The first date is not the place where you want to be antagonistic. If you show complete interest in your date and you are enthusiastic, he's bound to think that you are wonderful and want to come back for a second date. My second tip on how to get him to come back for a second date with you is to keep information about yourself to a minimum. If he asks you questions about yourself, which he should if he's a nice and polite guy, answer clearly and with enthusiasm. Don't answer with only one-word answers like yes, no, or fine. If you do that, he's going to think that you're not interested in him. Answer his questions with enthusiasm, but don't go into long stories or a lot of detail. For example, this is not the time for you to talk about how your primary school teacher scarred you for life by telling you that you were stupid. This is not the time for that. The first date is the place to keep things light and fun. If he feels from your conversation that you're a fun person and that there's more to discover about you, he's bound to want to come back for a second date. My third tip on how to get him to come back for a second date is to not sleep with him on the first date. Now, I know that we're in the 21st century and sex is everywhere and there doesn't seem to be that big a deal about it anymore. But if you want a second date, it is more likely to happen if you don't sleep with him on the first date. I know I sound conservative saying no to sex on the first date, but sometimes in dating, it helps to be conservative. If we want a relationship with a guy, it helps to not have sex with him too early so that you can think clearly and decide if he's the right person for you. If you have sex with a guy on the first date, there's a tendency to get attached to him and not see his faults or try to cover his faults in your mind instead of just letting him go, which is more likely to happen if you don't sleep with him on the first date. If you want a second date with a guy, you better your chances by not having sex with him on the first date. I hope you found the tips in this video useful. If you want more tips from me on love and relationships, follow me on Instagram. To get my free ebooks on being happy while you're single, on love and relationships, especially if you're a single woman over the age of 30, go to www.bit.ly.com/Lakwe's Love Tips. You can get them for free there. I hope you enjoyed this video once again. If you did, please give it a thumbs up below, share it with your friends, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red subscribe button you see down below, or by clicking on my picture that you'll see somewhere on the screen. After you subscribe, please remember to click on the bell that you'll see there so that you'll be notified as soon as a new video of mine comes out. I wish you love and strength. Mwah.